Without a doubt, it is a challenge to live above reproach or embody being an exceptional woman when things go awry within our lives, especially if we're never taught how to navigate disappointing situations like family, friendships, relationships, layoffs, evictions, and even financial blows. Today, we are going to discuss the art of staying down until you come up and why it is crucial to learn accountability, physical discipline, emotional discipline, and overall how to become independently resilient, regardless of the support you have during trying times. Welcome to the Deep Cup Collective. On this channel, we strive to become the ultimate woman, a woman grounded in identity, integrity, accountability, discipline, morals, and beauty that radiates from the inside out. If you are a woman who appreciates the importance of advanced critical thinking within a world of quote unquote groupthink, or would like to learn how to become an exceptional woman set apart, I think you'll thoroughly enjoy it here. If you find yourself enjoying today's video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Contrary to popular belief, it is not that people don't see your worth. Let's just consider that maybe they do. They see your worth right now and your potential for the future, and it's threatening. Threatening to their already established limiting beliefs about themselves, so they project those ideologies onto you. And when the opportunity arises for them to show their quote-unquote superiority, they will take it and kick you while you're already low, especially if you've shown any sort of attention or admiration. The first step to becoming self-sufficient in suffering is acknowledging how you played a part in it. No, this is not to gaslight you. However, this is your life, no one else's. You're the one in control, calling the shots, making the decisions. Or are you really? We can expand on how haters play a role in our suffering, but first, to solve the problem, we have to go directly to the source, which is you. Harsh truth, you are the problem. You refuse to acknowledge your missteps, what they were, and understand how they happened in the first place. This can be directly linked to a lack of boundaries, both physical and emotional. When we choose, because everything is a choice, to blame others for our misfortune, it's easy to soak in that, and it gives us an excuse. This is what makes us like the people who we are opposed to. In other words, it makes us a hypocrite. We don't want to become like them. We are exceptional, and we need to act as such, and taking accountability for our actions is the first step. The key to accountability is not only acknowledging where you went wrong, but accepting the fact that you did. And in cookie cutter society, that can be very tough. The portrayal of having it all together is just not realistic. While most people live online, we have to eventually live in reality. It's okay to not be perfect all the time, and it's also okay to acknowledge your own ignorance. That's what makes you human. I think for most women, we get caught up in perfection. However, being an exceptional woman does not mean being perfect. An exceptional woman is one who acknowledges her flaws and past behaviors, and she makes the decision to move forward. An example of this could be choosing to forgive yourself for, let's say, a crash out you had, and actively taking the steps to change your perspective on how to deal with conversations or people who trigger you. Mistakes or past actions are a wonderful opportunity to learn who you are as a person in order for you to grow. And if you refuse to acknowledge this, your behavior and what you entertain can cost you everything. Friends, family, relationships, job opportunities, finances, and most importantly, time. Overall, I'm here to confidently say and reinforce the notion that it's okay to forgive yourself. It's okay to change your perspective and how you look at people. and situations. It's okay to change your reality and take the active steps of moving forward with life. It's okay to have the courage to change for the better. It's actually very admirable. Ruminating on the past is only a waste of time for you because the harsh reality is that no one cares. However, if you learn to care about yourself, you won't be looking to see if anyone else cares because it wouldn't matter. I also want to talk about why boundaries and standards and just having discipline is just so important. So, a boundary is an invisible line defining personal space. It limits others when it comes to protecting your own well being. And it's very important to have boundaries because they protect you. They help sift out unacceptable behaviors and behaviors that help you foster healthy relationships with others and yourself. And again, they help you save time. A standard is setting a requirement for others, which in turn helps you trust yourself and the choices you make. Not only are you setting a standard for others, stay with me. A standard is something you also set for yourself. Whenever you make the choice to not actively stand firm on your boundaries or the standard you have for yourself, you might find yourself in peculiar, unlikely situations. Whenever you lower the bar, you will more than likely find yourself, after all is said and done, prone to raising the standard and doubling down on the boundaries you had in the first place even more, which is great. But in retrospect, if you had stood firm on those boundaries the first time, you wouldn't have experienced the unfortunate events that have transpired in your life. You could have saved so much time not dealing with being in compromising situations and using your energy toward unhealthy relationships. In turn, you could have originally put that time toward yourself. And this topic is very nuanced simply because the majority of women in life have experienced some kind of trauma, especially childhood trauma. So if you are one of those women, I want you to listen very closely. Yes, there are things that might have happened to you that were beyond your control. We live in a very cruel world. It's not your responsibility to hold on to the horrible actions of others. However, it is your responsibility to not label yourself as a victim and grow from your past hurt. At some point, you have to stop blaming others for your hurt and start making changes and rewire your brain yourself. As mentioned before, nobody cares. They just don't. Have the courage to care for yourself enough to the point where you are untouchable and unstoppable when it comes to being self-sufficient in suffering. Think, yes, this might have happened to me, but it doesn't affect me because I choose not to allow it. Nobody is bigger than the program. When you think you are bigger than the program moves on without you. Time passes, and you realize out of all the billions of people on earth, you're just another person living life like the majority of other people. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is bigger than the program. If you want to lose weight, you have to work out and have a better diet. If you want a better job, you have to possibly perfect your resume, maybe acquire a new skill, but you definitely have to send applications. If you want more money, go and get it. Get a second job, start a business, get a side hustle. If you want friendships, you have to show up for those friendships. If you want a high quality man who respects and loves you, you have to set boundaries and a standard for yourself. Want to get past your past hurt? Make that decision to take the active steps to heal. I'm not saying that it won't be hard, but it is just that simple. You can struggle with doing the hard part now, or you can struggle with doing what is even more challenging later. Do it now, figure it out for yourself, stop waiting for others to show you how you want to live your life. Don't talk about it, don't write it down. I mean, maybe write it down. Don't tell anybody, just do it. Just do it. The ball doesn't start rolling unless you push. Yes, having faith is nice, but it's just not enough. Faith without works is dead. No one is coming to save you, so save yourself. It'll be the best investment that you ever made. Another thing that's really important is having emotional discipline as a woman. I feel like we don't talk about this enough. As a woman, it is not enough to look put together on the outside when you are struggling within, and vice versa, no matter what you're going through. It's not proper etiquette to not have your affairs in order and look put together. The harsh reality is that perception matters. Having your affairs in order, as well as how you look, is very important. On the outside and in the inside. It's crucial as a woman. We already know this. However, it is not sexy to have a laid middle part bust down, but you're not busting down your bills. You're not busting down that apartment getting cleaned. You're not busting down effort for your career. You're not busting down that hygiene routine. Yeah. You can spray on that baccarat all you want. It's never going to cover up the stench that's seeping from out of your life. Get your house in order. This applies to being emotionally disciplined as well. Everything can look so perfect from the outside, but if you are struggling internally, it will. And I'm telling you, it will eventually show up in your everyday life through your attitude and your decisions. Some women just are spiritually stank. It is what it is. We don't want to be stank on the inside or the outside, so pull it together. Do the work, then everything else will be aligned. Focus on learning how to control your emotions. Yes, it's okay to feel. That's who women are. However, it is not okay for everyone to know how you're feeling. That right there is poor spiritual hygiene. You give to everyone else when you should be giving to yourself the gift of scarcity, and honor yourself by gatekeeping your emotions. Believe me, emotions as a woman is currency. Keep it for yourself and only give it to those who are deserving. If there is any emotion, you should be showing its joy. Be thankful for what you already have. Thankful for the opportunity to be able-bodied. Thankful to have the optimism to accept even more. Laugh without fear of the future. Sometimes it is just a joke. It's all a freaking joke. So the harsh reality is that we come into this world alone, and that's just how we're going to exit. Life is something to be experienced. That's the beauty of it all. Enjoy it. The highs and the lows. You need to accept the fact that some things in this life are meant to be experienced alone. You have a family who isn't supportive. Oh well. You have friends who hate. That's their personal problem. You have people who hate on you for no reason. Let them. How does what other people think of you have anything to do with you? It doesn't. It's their thoughts. Mind your business, tend to your business, and consider practicing looking at things from a logical perspective rather than an emotional one. Overall, the key to emotional and independent resilience is filling your own cup so you're not dependent on others to fill it for you. That way, regardless of what happens or whatever you're going through right now, you never lose yourself for people or circumstances. You get one life. You're stuck in this body until it's over. Get comfortable. That is all I have for you today. Hopefully this encouraged you and was the talk that you needed to make the choice to actively turn your life around and make the crucial changes that need to be made in order to grow into becoming the exceptional woman you already know that you are. Until next time, ladies, with love, signed out, the D Cup Collective.